Well, hello, school counselors and school counselors to be. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, The Inspiring School Counselor. And today, you guys, we're going to be getting into an inspiring question. One of my viewers reached out to me and wanted me to answer this question. Of course, as you guys know, what better way for me to address this than to do it in a video, because maybe you might have the same exact question. So with that being said, let's not prolong the time. Let's get right into it. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. All right, you guys, let's get into it. It says, will you please address the question of how counselors provide equity to all students? For one, this is a great question, and it's important for you as a school counselor and those school counselors to be to really understand what your role is and how important it is for you to make sure that all students are being treated equally and that there are none that's being underrepresented. So with that being said, it's important for us to look at different avenues and different fundings and making sure that we are closing that achievement gap and looking at different opportunities to make sure that all needs are being met for all of the students. So one of the things that I do want to point out is that I went on the Ask a website and they actually have an article, and I want to show you guys this article, which says exactly what this question is addressing, which is the school counselor and equity for all students. I'm actually going to be putting this link in the description below so that you guys can go and look at that after I get done. But I'm also going to be hitting all the points that is written in this article because it's really good and it definitely will be of help, especially if you're in an interview or getting ready for an interview and you kind of are afraid or you don't really know how you might answer something like this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. One of the points that they mentioned in this article, which I'm going to be reading to you guys right now, is that school counselors work to help close achievement, opportunity, attainment, and funding gaps in their schools, districts, and communities. So just by reading that alone really shows just the type of force that a school counselor has when we begin to advocate for our students and making sure that they are getting the help and the resources that they need. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and break down some of the points for school counselors to promote equitable treatment of all students. Using data to identify gaps in achievement, opportunity, and attainment. You guys, this is very important. And let me tell you, as a school counselor, it's important for you to understand data. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm still a little rocky when it comes down to data. And let me tell you guys, even though I was in graduate school and they touched a little bit on that, but still, yeah, that's what it was, a little bit. So a lot of the things I'm learning as I go. And that's what you will find as you are, the school counselors to be and you're actually working in the field. A lot of it's going to be a lot that you'll learn on the job. But it's important for you to be able to look at data. And if you can't really break down data, don't be afraid to ask different ones, your administrator or whoever works with the testing part, just getting all the information that you can and have them break down that information so that you can understand it, so that you know what programs that you need to put in place to help students so that you can bridge that gap. So understanding that is important. Another thing is advocating for rigorous course in higher education for underrepresented groups. You guys, this is important because you're going to have a lot of the minorities where they are going to be underrepresented. So you as a school counselor has to make sure that they have access to resources and programs just as much as others do. And so with that, that's going to take a little bit more work for you to really just understand, okay, what is the demographics at your school and, what funds that you already have coming in or what programs you already have for the students. And then what do you need to add so that you can, once again, bridge that gap. Another point is maintaining professional knowledge of the ever-changing and complex world of students' culture. You all, this is important. And I think a lot of times, which I come to find is that it can be overlooked, especially if you are not in a school setting that is as diverse. Currently, I work in a school setting that is majority, whites. And so with that being said, I probably only have maybe 6 or 7 mixed cultures that's in there. But it's still important for me to learn all the cultures and making sure that I am not withholding that information for my students. But creating things and celebrating things and promoting diversity is very important. But as a school counselor, we have to make sure that we maintain that professional knowledge so that whenever we are doing our individual counseling, small groups, or we're wanting to implement programs, making sure that it's not offending anyone, but providing the help that's necessary for those students to be successful. Another point is maintaining knowledge and skills for working in a diverse, multicultural work setting. One of the great things that I found whenever we had our in-service before actually school started in August, we actually had different, this guy that came in and basically talked about the elephant in the room, talked about, race and, prejudice and biases and Black culture and just different other things, which is very much needed, especially in the area where I'm at, where it's predominantly white. And so it's important for us as school counselors to acquire that knowledge and have that knowledge. And even if it is that you feel like you lack in that knowledge, it's not too late to get more knowledge on that. Now, maybe you're one that is not working in a diverse or multicultural work setting. However, don't let that stop you from implementing and trying to celebrate different aspects or different cultures. That's just a part of just bringing in that diversity. So the next one is informing school staff of changes regarding different groups within the community. This is very important just to be able to have the talk, have the conversations, so that your school staff can be aware of what's going on, so that they can understand whenever you see the students coming in and they might act a certain way that maybe you're not used to them acting, or they might, seem a little bit different than what they are. Well, because you as a school counselor has informed the school staff about different changes. One of the big things that I want to bring out, like when you think of 2020, even though it was a virtual pretty much majority of the year, when you're talking about, the school setting and going from the classroom to now we're all on the computer. However, there was some significant events that took place, as far as with race. And so knowing that that happens in the community, it's important to bring awareness to your school staff and realize, look, we need to be, mindful, sensitive, watchful for what we say, and also being willing to change any type of stereotypical thoughts that we might have within ourselves. I think it would be even great to have those moments where you do get everyone in the room and you talk about, and what I mean by everyone in the room as far as school staff in the room, and you talk about these things that's happening in the community and how we can make sure that it does not happen within the school, but we can promote kindness, respect, and diversity and be respectful of everyone's culture. Another point is promoting the development of school policies leading to equitable treatment of all students and opposing school policies hindering equitable treatment of any students. So many times we can, think, oh, well, central office or whoever, the Board of Education, they handle the school policies. I'm sure that it's all, equal and everybody's being looked out for. But however, you just don't know. And it's important for you to just be aware of the different school board policies. And if there's anything that is out the way, making that known, letting the superintendent know, letting the principal, whoever you need to let know about any school policies that might not be promoting equity amongst all students. Creating an environment that encourages any student or group to feel comfortable to come forward with problems. What better person or individuals that can promote such a creative environment as this than school counselors? And so we have to make sure that the students feel safe and they feel like they can come and express themselves and not feel like they will be judged. So that is something that is very important, very key as you as a school counselor and you're going into this profession, if you're like a school counselor to be, or even if you are a school counselor currently, making sure that you're keeping in mind, okay, am I being open or am I being judgmental to different students that come in that might make it harder for them to want to express themselves to me? Collaborating with families and seeking assistance services for financial literacy, job skills, placement, and free services such as child care assistance, as well as providing parents educational opportunities to assist them in supporting their students' education. You guys, that sounds like a mouthful, but Basically, making sure that you are collaborating with the families to get the resources that they need. A lot of things that I do is that whenever I come across where there's like, maybe free counseling that's given from a certain agency, I try to put that up on the social media page of my school so that parents are aware, students are aware that, look, you guys can go and get these services free. I also will let them know about certain or organizations within the community, like the Family Resource Center, that they can go and they're able to go there and get the food and different things that they need, or assistance with any bills that they need. Okay, so that's important for us as school counselors to be able to stay on top of. Hey, you guys, and I did want to also add that you can actually, implement things like coffee with the counselor, where you're able to talk to the parents about, different aspects in helping their students, maybe like with college and career readiness, FAFSA. You can also bring in opportunities where you can actually get guest speakers to come to talk to the parents about job skills or any other assistance that they will need. So I want to make sure that I put that in there because I noticed that I did not mention that in the video. Acting as a liaison between home and school, promoting and understanding and encouraging creative solutions for students handling multiple responsibilities beyond a typical load. So one thing that you will come to find, especially depending on where you are, is just being open, understanding your students, understanding the load that they might be dealing with. You have some students that literally quit school because they are trying to provide for their family. Something that you would look for it to be the responsibility of the parents, the students are the ones that's taking it on. So it's just being very important that you are aware and that you are promoting, once again, a safe environment that they will feel that they can come to talk to you. And then with that, trying to come up with a solution that you can help. And that's when you can get, like I said before, different resources to try to get the free help that you can, or some assistance that you can that can help out these families that's in need. So a lot of that burden can be taken off the students. Depending on the situation, you might have to get DCS or CPS involved in order to help provide resources for the family of the student. So just keep that in mind as you are coming aware of students that might be in this particular situation. So those are the points that they mentioned here on the Ask a website. Once again, I will put that link in the description below so that you guys can click on that, print it off, read it, whatever you have to do. But these are very good points that can be made and that can be done so that you can provide equity for all students. I am so excited that you guys took the time out to listen to me. I thank you guys so much for your time. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. I will see you guys next time.